My name is Niehaus. I'm a member of the Economic Freedom Fighters, and I am a member of the National Assembly representing the EFF, also on the Portfolio Committee for Defence and Military Veterans. This afternoon I paid an oversight visit to the Donnotor military base and also the base where the construction units of the South African National Defence Force are present. I'm extremely impressed by the engagement that I had with the commanding officer, Colonel Tuaole, who is really an outstanding officer. One can see that there is leadership at this base. And I was very happy to hear from her that the construction unit of the South African National Defence Force of the military that moves out from this base has now been involved in building some of the low-cost bridges all over South Africa, especially in KwaZulu-Natal and also in the Eastern Cape, where the inclement weather and the terrible storms have made bridges to collapse and to be swept away by storm waters. This is the community engagement that we would like to see from our army. I'm very happy about the way that the commanding officer talked about her work. She was not trying to present to me this afternoon simply excuses why certain things can't be done. In fact, she said to me, yes, we do have problems with budget cuts. We do not have all the resources that we require. But ultimately, it is within our ability to make the best of what we have. And Colonel Tuaole is an example of achieving exactly that. I walked with her through the Donnotor military base. She was very free and happy to say, let me look around and see what is here. She was very, very happy to do so because she's got nothing to hide. She's proud of what she has achieved. She's proud of the limited resources that she has, but the outstanding consequence and effect that she has managed to achieve. She told me that one of her main concerns is the primary missionary equipment that are not always in good maintenance and that they may not have all the equipment that is required. This is because there is not always enough resources. And it is a very valid and sensible concern that she expressed. At the same time as we walked through the base, we were going to the community hall, and the community hall is being renovated, and it is not being done by outside contractors. It is being done by the resources and by the skills that are available here within this base, the skills that are available also within the resources that are here for the one construction regiment that is based here at the Donnotor military base. She's got 448 soldiers who are trained construction workers who are out in the community in all 9 provinces, busy building bridges, helping to improve the lives of our community. She makes it clear to me that she sees this base as an important asset and a resource to the community. And therefore she also does community outreach work. She goes to schools and talks to children about what the South African National Defence Force should mean for these kids. She talks to them also about the job opportunities that exist within the South African National Defence Force. I've written down, and that's why I took this piece of paper out, a whole number of issues that she raised. Clear, to the point, not complaining, not whining, but simply stating these are the kind of things that we think can be improved and can be done better. I will make sure that those issues that Colonel Tuahole has raised will be brought to the attention of the top commanding officers of the South African National Defence Force. I will make sure that through the correct structures in the Portfolio Committee for Defence and Military Veterans, this will be done. Next week, we are going to have the various reports of the Department of Defence and also the Department of Military Veterans. We will also consider the findings of the Auditor General on the performance of the South African National Defence Force and the Department of Military Veterans. It was for me a very important experience to come today to this Donnotor military base and to be able to see what can be done with limited resources if your attitude is right. As Colonel Tuahole said, most of the problems that we are faced with can be changed when we have it right in our heads, when our minds are right. Then we can bring true change. And she is a true asset as the commanding officer of one construction regiment here in Donnotor. So I often complain. I often raise my concerns about the rot that I see within the South African National Defence Force. I have numerous times expressed my concern and also my objection to the way in which the budget cuts that they are, and they do have an effect, gets used as an excuse to simply not do the job. Here we have an example at this military base of Donnotor, and with this commanding officer, Colonel Tuahole, that things can be different. I've always maintained that the SANDF can be saved by leadership, and at this space they have a leader. So I end my 2 visits to 2 military bases today optimistic because of the experience that I had this afternoon at the Donnotor military base. I sign off, still concerned about how the South African National Defence Force can be saved. I'm still worried that it is in collapse. But part of the answer of how it can be saved was demonstrated to me today by Colonel Tuahole. And it just confirmed to me once again that ultimately it is leadership that will save our South African National Defence Force. Make sure that we can again have pride in the South African National Defence Force. Make sure that the South African National Defence Force will indeed, when you have leaders like Colonel Tuahole, be able to serve our nation and be true to the mandate that the Constitution has given it. With those words, I sign off at Donnotor military base, and I sign off with a smile on my face. As I always say, in our liberation struggle, we say, a luta continua. And at this military base, I saw the path ahead for a luta continua to save the SANDF. Thank you.